everyone. Yes, you're on the right show. I'm inspired to change my background for a special guest I have. She is such a light. She is just amazing. I fell in love with her when I first met her on Clubhouse, and I'm going to share her with you. And so I'm going to do my little intro video, and then Christy Jones will be right with me. So hold on. Christy Jones, welcome to Laughing Out Loud. I thank you so much for being here. I just love you so much. Thank you for coming a little early so that we can just share the sunshine. And look at that. I had to change my background. I'm going to be doing an interview later, and I was going to use it. Yep.
Sunshine flowing through, right?
We're going to have a great time here. I am super, super excited. If you want to let my guests know a little bit about you, and you did share this on your page, right? Because we are a very interactive show here.
Yes, I just shared it on my page. And Lynn, I just want to thank you for inviting me, and that we've really resonated with each other of this love of like living life and loving life and laughing. And so I appreciate what you're doing and what you're bringing to the world. Thank you for including me in it.
Thank you. So let's everybody know a little bit about you, and then we're just going to go from there.
Okay, sure. And so what I would say is I love laughing. And so I have a profession that allows me to enjoy life and laugh. And so, one of the things, if we're looking at titles in life, is, I'm a holistic health and mindfulness coach and educator. And really the reason I started doing that is my daughter was really sick when she was young, and realized that, she spent about 3 months in bed. She wasn't able to eat. Anytime she ate, she curled over in pain. And she was such a bright light. She was just always like, when she's happy, everyone's happy. When she's not happy, nobody's happy. And so it really put me on this mission to understand, how do I help my child who's going through this challenge really regain her life? And so that's been my passion, is looking at, once I realized what was going on for her, that it was really this brain-gut connection that 12 years ago, there wasn't that much information about the brain-gut connection. So if anybody that's listening resonates with this, of understanding that when our digestive system is off, it affects us mentally, emotionally, and physically. And so it was uncovering, if this is going on for her, what's actually happening for other kids. And we actually have an epidemic of kids that are experiencing digestive issues that are causing anxiety and depression and things like that. So it just created this opening of what's going on in society with our kids, and how can I be part of the solution?
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm super excited, and welcome everybody to our show. If you have any questions, throw them out there anytime. But in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and ask some general questions here. What meaning does living your best life have for you personally?
Awesome. I love these deep questions early in the morning. So what does living your best life have for me personally?
Yes.
And so, it really goes to joy and having a powerful mindset. That learning that, our mind, that what we think and what we feel is what's creating our reality.
Absolutely.
And so realizing that, this has been a process, and anybody comment if this is something that you've been on a path of learning for your own self, is that what we feel, right? What we think is literally training our brain. It's opening up the gate of what we're going to experience in life.
Yep.
And so for living my best life, it's been learning to choose how I feel. Choosing that power to choose my thoughts and to choose my feelings, which I don't know, for Lynn, for you, when you were younger, did you know you could do that?
Yeah, I did. I knew that, I started young with the children's Bible, and I just heard all the stories, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like about the story was the fact that there's death on this earth, and parting. And I learned that from my grandmother at 7 years old. And that was the saddest part of all the Bible stories, is like, wait, we perish from here, you know, and then we don't get to see them. So I realized, well, I've got to make the best what I can while I'm here. And so that's where I found the happiness of saying, and that's why it's like so important for me to let people know who in my life has impacted me and who I appreciate and care about and have on my show, because to me, I've got to celebrate you while you're here, not when you're gone. We do too much celebrating after someone's gone. And if only they knew how much they were appreciated while they were here. So my mission is to leave the memory behind and to personally let people know that I appreciate them. And as busy as you are, for you to take time here for me, I appreciate that so much. And we're connected in so many different ways because, you know, we spoke last night. I have gastroparesis and I have my own gut issues and I've survived it I think it's been 30 years now. And I got diagnosed just 5 years ago. And with that kind of disease, they just pretty much say, well, eat this, don't eat that. And, you know, it was like the lime and the coconut for the longest time because they would recommend me to have so much fiber. The fiber was making my stomach even worse.
Right. Yeah, right.
You have to become your own advocate is what I say. You know, you have to if you don't take care of what's ailing you, it's going to take over you, you know, and I if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be even living here right now. So I'm just grateful to say that I also realized that my emotions, your gut, your emotions. I mean, like I truly have had to become Pollyanna. And so I think this is a blessing for me. I truly do. I realize that, Lynn, if you do not let go of the things that don't serve you and don't make you feel right, you're going to let your stomach be affected. And it does affect me. I'm very empathetic to people. You know, I have a discernment for that. And so my biggest thing is like, Lynn, let it go, because I truly pay for it every day in a one way or another. And so it's a blessing to me. I'm gifted with this because it centers me to realize how petty things are. And it feels like labor pains when I'm going through this. It literally comes and goes. And people have no idea.
Yeah. And what I'm really hearing for you is what you've learned on this journey is that what you're feeling emotionally has an effect on your gut, on your digestive system.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you're right on track. And so, you know, in my journey of becoming a health coach, I realized the best way to help people is to help them understand how to build a healthy digestive system, right? Because our gut is our second brain.
Absolutely.
Right?
People don't understand that.
Yeah. And it's very much connected to our emotional state.
Absolutely. So
you're right on track.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because now that saying fits real well for me. It's not what you're eating, but it's what's eating you that can affect your gut. And it's like, that's never really resonated with me except to connect that right now. So
make new connection. And if anybody's listening to this, what is this meaning for you of realizing that our emotions and our feelings and our thoughts affect our physical body?
Absolutely.
And so when I work with somebody and they've got something going on physically, so I always we have our physical body, right? But we also have this energy body that surrounds us, that runs through us and around us. So we've got to realize that energy body, some people call it their aura, some people call it their energy field. Sometimes they call it their biofield, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it their mind. That energy field around us holds our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our emotions, our feelings, our habits, our imagination. So whatever's happening to us physically, I first need to find out what's surrounding somebody, what's going on for them in their conscious, their subconscious, their emotions. And that is going to be key to helping the physical body. And that's really what you've uncovered in this journey.
Yeah. And so we're going to get to some fun stuff here and uncover a lot of stuff as we go here. But what do you love in your life other than your family?
Wow. Well, I think love, you know, I'm going to just talk about love for a second. And this is a key belief that I believe is that if we get that who we are, right? Who we are is this life force, right? We all have this life force that flows through us, right? This energy. And that energy, that life force that flows through every person, through every tree, through every animal, right, is love.
Yeah.
So who we are at our core is love. We can't even be disconnected from love.
Nope. God is love.
Some people, this is not what's normally taught. And so there's an idea that there's something wrong with us or we're broken. But when people start realizing who they are, that who they truly are is this life force, that's energy, that's love. They cannot be disconnected regardless of religion. If somebody has a belief in God, it's made in the image of God. If somebody believes a different religion, or they believe in that they're supported in this beautiful universe, it all goes back to love.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, Lynn.
No, go ahead.
And so for me, getting that who we are is love, that is the foundation of who we are. My biggest desire is for every child on this planet to know that that's their self-identity. Yeah. And so what I love is being able to teach teachers, I work a lot with teachers and students and administrators and parents, right? That they get that their true self-identity is this energy, is this life force, is this love that flows through them. And when people catch that, they literally catch that is who they are. That is what I love.
Aww. Yeah,
them shift, and all of a sudden these limiting beliefs of thinking there's something wrong with them or they're less than starts falling away, because somewhere they've already known this truth about themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're born, we got love. God gave us love in our spirit, and people just, they're so disciplined to hear no, and be molded by their parents' experiences and things like that. And so it truly is nice when people realize that we are loved. God loves us. I mean, I've almost died many different times, and if I didn't lean out on my own understanding, onto the Lord, I'll tell you what, you've got to have a center. You have to have a focus in your life. I'm Latina. I'm Puerto Rican. I can have a bad temper and a heartbeat. That's just a natural thing. I'm being real. I'm being super real. But right. You know what? You can't go there. It's like Dr. Phil would say, how's that working for you? It doesn't work. If you don't love and let go and let God and love, then we got issues. You got major issues, So I love that I'm blessed with having my core, say, Lynn, you better behave. And Lynn, you got to love. And Lynn, is that worth it? It's not love. Let it go. Which is so funny that we're going to get to that here in a minute. So let's go to what makes you laugh, because I know you love to laugh.
Oh my gosh, you know what? And I meant to grab something to have here. Being silly. One of the people in this
time to the right show
that I met in this time is a man named Joe Ingram, and some of your listener, Joe, right? And we really met at the beginning of this COVID time. And when we were talking about it, one of the things that we talked about, I think, he had shared is, he goes, my mission is to make people laugh in this time. And we really kind of united on this mission. And Joe, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but one of the things we started laughing about was broccoli. So I've got my little broccoli over here. I try and keep a little broccoli present, so in case ever I can talk about broccoli. So we kind of started this broccoli bacon battle on Facebook, just silly stuff to just laugh. Then so it's just having fun in the everyday, just finding these silly reasons to laugh, that it was like, what can we do in this time? Let's just laugh. Let's make people laugh.
So usually I tell people what makes them laugh other than me, and then usually I play something like this.
I may not be TikTok famous, but I have never posted a video of me shaking my butt for likes. And if the beat live, Lil Juke made it. Yaddy, 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 yaddy.
So I get my exercise in every day.
Right, there you go. You got to shake it. So, I think it's laughter, have fun. Even when something happens that seems like a challenge, if you can step back and just laugh at it, like, that's interesting, right?
That's a good place for me to put this. I love your laughter. I found this video and I want to share that right now.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Let's try these.
Okay, and then you can jump back in. Okay, ready? Wow.
I wasn't ready.
Okay, you ready?
Wow.
Wow. Wow, wow.
That was just one.
Okay, let's do it. Ready? Okay, ready? Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I love that game, right?
It's your laughter. Your laughter just makes it great.
So thanks for sharing that. That game
Hi,
is
Beth. Thanks for being here live.
Hey, Beth. That game is called Wow Wow. So part of what I teach in schools are mindfulness brain breaks that helps connect the mind and the body into the present moment. So that game is called Wow Wow. What you do is you clap once here, you clap with another person, wow. Then you clap once here, you clap twice, wow, wow. And then you clap once here, and then 3 times, wow, wow, wow. And then you go backwards. So then you do 2, wow, wow. Then you do 1, wow. So I have a video I can post on this of that game. But that game brings you into the present moment. When you say wow, you smile. So you release chemicals to your brain that make you happy, right? You create that serotonin in your body. And then you're also connecting and you're clapping hands with another person. Your hands are your biggest connection to your brain, and you're connecting with another person. When you mess up, you laugh, right? Which we know laughter is the #1 way to boost your immune system and reduce stress in the body. And so these are the types of exercises that I teach in schools to help raise the energy, right? To help change the energy in people's bodies. Because when you play these types of games, you literally let go of tension in your body. All of a sudden you feel light. It changes your emotional state. So you feel happy, you feel joyful, and you're laughing.
Oh my God.
So that is the whole point of that. Was my nephews and my niece. Every time I see them, they go, Aunt Christy, let's play wow. And we just laugh, right?
Awesome. Oh, my friend Beth says, what a cool game.
Yeah, so I'll post the video so you can learn it if you want. And I challenge everybody to teach it to 5 people.
That's awesome. Beth,
we'll have so much fun, but it's also making new neural pathways in your brain and training your brain to focus and to be in the present moment. Well,
Beth is, I don't know if she's still in Biz to Biz. That's how I met her. And that would be a great exercise for you to do with the group sometime. That would be awesome. So yeah, this goes back to here. What things have you let go out loud? And I tell people, this is where you share things that you were vulnerable about, that you're willing to share with people, because when people realize that you were vulnerable enough to admit what you've let go, and you realize, then that allows for that to live, love, and laugh. You've got to let go. If you don't let go out loud as well, a lot of bad things happen. So if you want to share.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I think life is a process of letting go. Let go. I work with a mentor that's an amazing spiritual teacher. And when I met him, he said, Christy, you got a lot of letting go of. You got a lot of things to let go.
I don't want to go.
Right. And so I think, it's a process of knowing that is the key. Letting go is the key. And I would say, personally, one of the things that I had to let go of were my limiting beliefs about myself. I grew up with experiencing, my sister died when I was 7. My mom became very sick after that. And I grew up with a lot of fear of people that I love dying because I experienced it. Right. And then what I believed about myself is I felt I didn't have a belief in myself. I didn't know I was loved, right? I thought I was broken, like that I wasn't smart because I had learning challenges and that I wasn't capable and not valuable. And so I realized that I lived in this story of limits, of thinking that I did not have value. And so it was learning that, oh, wait, I've been telling my stuff all this. I've been playing these programs that have limited me in life. And so I had to let go of those stories. And I'm just so grateful that I learned to break up with those stories, that they weren't my truth. And so, I mean, it's been a process of realizing and uncovering those limiting beliefs. And it's a process.
Yes. Yes.
But what I can say now is that when I think of my childhood and when I think of my past, I no longer go into trauma stories. I've been able to change that program to realize the gifts that I've been given in life. Even some of these challenges, if I hadn't had those experiences, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to do the work that I'm doing in schools now.
Exactly.
Right?
We relate in such a level is so cool, because the same thing, like I told you, with my grandmother dying at 7, and and then I had a good friend in middle school that died in a car accident too at 14. But the blessing we got to look at now is we have those things in our life to actually connect us and empathize with other people that go through traumatic things in their life, and to realize that if you didn't have personal tragedies or personal trauma in your own life, how can you relate or even have empathy for anyone else? So it turns in all your experience. I've been blessed. I mean, God, I have been blessed with lots of experiences.
Right.
And so I relate to a lot of people now. I'm very, very connected. I realize that. But again, even just like my mom died 5 years ago, and like and that was an up and down kind of relationship that I had with her for 50 years. So, and it's just letting go and realizing that, what, there was some traumatic stuff that lady put me through, but she was preparing me for life, and you don't realize these things until you have kids your own, and you go through, it's an amazing thing when you can just get out of your story, look at it from a different perspective, and say, you know what, you got shit like everybody else does.
Right.
I mean it literally.
Right. Yeah.
And so, I wanted to appreciate Beth here. She goes, it's a process for sure. It's a very meaningful thing. Letting go is very important to me. It certainly is, whatever eats you, whatever is on your mind can really eat at your body, and it'll show. And I believe that's why I tell people, do not wish any ill on anyone else, because that ill is going to come back to you. It comes back. So, and for the longest time, I'd never understand why my brother said, when somebody cut him off on the road or something, he goes, oh, I'm going to pray for them. I'm going to pray for them.
And I mean, it's just so powerful what you're saying. And Beth, I appreciate you commenting on there too. And hi, Tracy, that, and I don't know if this has been your story too, Lynn, but, I wasn't taught the natural laws or the universal laws as a child. So this has been an unfolding in the last, just few years for myself, that we live in a universe with laws. And one of them is whatever energy you put out is coming back. Yeah. And so when we can get that whatever we're experiencing, right, we take 100% ownership. If something happens and I'm seeing that there's somebody that I feel frustrated with, I go, oh, let me pause. What am I feeling? Let me take ownership. What am I putting out? What is the energy that I'm putting out that this situation is showing up? And I own it. No longer will I ever put it on anybody else. So part of breaking up with this story was letting go of being a victim. Letting go of thinking that somebody was doing something to me. It's my feeling, whatever I'm feeling. If we get this law of energy, whatever feeling I'm putting out, I'm going to attract other people and situations in that same energy. Right. So if there's something that I don't want, let me be aware of what energy am I putting out? What am I thinking and feeling? Let me change that. Right?
Absolutely.
And then this situation is going to change.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's powerful. What you hold, mind tends to manifest what you put in.
We're right in the
Absolutely. And that's why, I've got to write my story and everything. I'm going to work on that. But
awesome.
I've actually, I can't save everyone in the world, and I realize that. But when people call it karma, people call it whatever they want. But I've been able to see people's words give them poison back tenfold more than they deserve. I mean, everyone that's ever trespassed against me, I've forgiven them. Yeah. And I've seen the things that they've gone through, and I empathize with them. I feel bad for them for not realizing the toxics that they put out, you know, either
Right.
you contribute or you contaminate, like Glenn Morshower says.
Yes. And if you get that everybody's a soul here on their own life journey with things to learn, right?
Absolutely.
And we're either going to learn it or not.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, I'm going to throw this out here right now.
So have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
Wow. You know, that's so funny. You know, I'm going to share a story that maybe this seems so silly, but when I was a kid, one time I was playing, my parents were on a they were on a bowling league. And I was playing with one of the kids and we were playing and she was telling me, push me, push me, push me. Right. So we were playing, you know, around and I pushed her and she fell and she broke her arm. And I went and hit it. I mean, I think I was probably like 7 years old or 8 years old. And I went and hid and I didn't tell anybody. Right. And that put me in a pickle. Right? Like, you know, I mean, I didn't know how to handle the situation at that time. You know, but looking back on it, it just, you know, I didn't know. And so I didn't tell anybody. And I went and like hid in a corner at the bowling alley. But the repercussions of that, of not owning the situation, right?
You learned at an early age.
Right. And I don't think I learned it then, but when you're saying, when did you put yourself in a pickle? That's what came into my mind, is that, you know, I hid from taking ownership of a responsibility of saying, you know what, I pushed her. I didn't mean to break her arm. You know, I just pushed her and I'm sorry, but I tried to hide. I mean,
you bully you. I didn't know.
I know. But, you know, thinking about it, I mean, that really, you know, subconsciously had a lot, you know, played on my mind and I wasn't even aware of it. But, you know, I had this belief that I was bad, right? That I harmed somebody and it wasn't even intentional, but we know that subconscious mind will tell us all sorts of stories.
But that's nice to say that you actually empathized and you felt that you actually hurt someone else. And so you learned from that. You know what I mean? You learned, you know, so you learned from it, you know, and it stuck with you, obviously. So let me ask you, what makes you so passionate in helping other people?
Yeah, this story is, I have a hard time sharing this without crying, but we'll see if I can do it. You know, and sometimes I haven't occurred to why something has resonated with me so much until I've had the opportunity to look back. Right. But for me, I moved into a new community when I was 7. My parents, in the school district that they were starting to bus. So we moved to Arcadia and I was in a new school district, didn't know anybody. My sister at that time, you know, she was a baby and we had only moved maybe a month, or 2 months in this new area that we lived in, and my sister passed away. And so I was in a new school. We didn't know anybody. And the principal of our school was just this amazing man. So he actually was the one that let me know that my sister passed away. He came to my house the day after and said, you don't have to come to school. And he embraced our family. And so when my mom was having a hard time, he got her involved in the school and helped her have like a connection and meet people in the community. He looked out for me. And so I realized, and this is where I start crying, is that man, the care he had, I don't know what would have happened to our family had he not stepped in. And so for me, I realize what I do in caring for people and bringing this work into schools and with my private clients is it's that care of people knowing that they're looked out after, that they're valuable, that they're cared for. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago, I was like, why am I so passionate about schools and kids? And I realized it was this man, his name was Milton Sonovic. It was his influence in my life and in my family's life.
Christy, you probably don't even watch my shows. You have no idea. You have no idea what you said, because I tell everybody that it's a ripple effect in life. I mean, I'm an introvert. It wasn't that I stayed in a victim space, but I just felt like, what's the point of my story, my 55 years of my life, until I saw what an impact when people were vulnerable, that I realized, you know, I'm I care about people so much that if I don't open my mouth and I don't have something of happiness here, I'm letting all the stories die with me and
Yeah.
not allowing other people. I mean, I guess it's going on 2 years ago. Well, it's been a year. It's been over a year in November. I was on a stage with 500 people, talking in front of 500 people, introducing Ken Walls as a keynote speaker.
Awesome.
I'm a heavy girl. My pride and shame to go there was hard. But you know what? I impacted so many people, and people impacted me, that if I allow my being of who I am to be minuscule compared to how people impacted me, I'm not honoring all those other people.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're doing is you're honoring somebody that we take little pieces of everybody, and they become us. They become a fact of our life.
I
And
agree with that 100%.
I share this all the time with many people. And, I just, this show has become so much of me not expecting my guests to give so much to my viewers, because they do. I feel like they can follow them. They can see their other interviews, but I want people to see what I see in a person. And as we're evolving here and seeing how much we're so alike, as it's unfolding, it's just beautiful to me, because I echo exactly what you say to other people, the impact people have in our lives. You don't understand it and you don't appreciate it. And it's sad that we don't celebrate one another more when we're here. Why do we have to have these glamorous, beautiful
Right.
funerals for people, and that the main actor is not even present?
Right. And so let's celebrate now. And I think that's the mission that you're bringing out, is let's celebrate now. And celebration is so important. So important.
Exactly.
Right? And so, and you hit the nail right on the head. That's a belief that I hold too. And once again, even in this, I just appreciate the conversation we get to have with as we're watching, too. Like when we're watching a show or our show and somebody's watching this one, we're really building that connection because we're all connected. Right. And through just our words, we're able to connect with each other. Right. And this time our energy still flows through the screen. Right. But that what you had said is we take a piece of each other. And if we get that we're energy, right, we are giving people energy gifts all the time. When we are speaking, our energy is flowing to them and it lives in their heart. Right. And so in this time, we are meant to collect these energy gifts and to give energy gifts. And when somebody passes, that energy gift still lives in us. And as we honor that, when we are speaking to other people, when we're in life, we are bringing their energy we are making them exponential. So I truly believe that everybody is always with us, even if they've gone to the other realm and we can't physically see them, that energy never goes away. Absolutely. And so what you're creating is this space, right, for people to honor each other's energy, to learn and to grow and to laugh with each other. And then we get to carry each other, with ourselves, and keep bringing it out and expanding it, right? And shift and raising the consciousness of the planet.
I gotta share this, and Beth will be a testament to this. I am an introvert, and I used to go to biz with Beth, and she could tell you, even when there was time for me to speak and have my turn, I really didn't want to go. And then yet I felt invisible there. I truly did. And it was mostly because I didn't have the confidence in myself that but this girl, Beth, at young age, she's got the light, she's got the spunk. Wow. She has an amazing mind that does voiceovers. These ladies inspired me to show up, even though I just wanted to shrink when I was there. I just didn't even want to show my light. But her light was something that I just love her light, her energy, and her passion. She has a great mom that gave her that foundation as well. Wow. And it just, I encourage this girl. I love her more than I think she'll ever know. And I wanted to take the opportunity to say that. And she's never been on one of my live shows. So this is an honor to me, Beth, that you took the time to be here. So thank you. Wow. I take every chance we can. And for her to hear your message and to hear the message today, it's just, God works in great ways, man. Great, mysterious ways. Yeah. And we got the clubhouse to thank as well. We do.
Yes. Yes.
So let's go to what are your big, hairy, audacious goals? And I believe you have a huge one.
Well, I used to say years ago that I want to turn around the lack of health for kids on the planet, right? And it was just a thought, something that I would put out there. And I realized I wanted to revise that because I didn't want to focus on lack, right? But my vision is that our children know who they are as love. That is taught in schools. And so my vision is that the work that I'm doing will be in hundreds of schools, will be a foundation in schools of teaching our understanding of our true self-identity of love, of knowing the power, the energy that we are, right? And being able to be the master of our mind and our brain and bring those success principles into every school. And that it's a belief and a knowing that our future generations have. And so one of the ways is through books, of writing children's books, that they get these books in their hands that help them understand some of these laws of the universe that aren't normally taught, and to just play it full out and to bring that message out. And so I'm just creating different avenues of how to really empower people to know their truth inside, their wisdom inside.
Oh, that's awesome. We got some great comments here. Take a second. And yeah, Beth said she said she had no idea. But now you do. You see, I'm being vulnerable this year, and I'm putting it out there and speaking my truth. Mm-hmm. Hi, Mark. Thanks for being here. And, again, I didn't know that I inspired you. So again, and I don't do it to inspire other people, but I'm saying, look at how important it is to realize the connection we have. And how we do need each other. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we want to be by ourselves, but we do need each other so that we can mirror each other and see the greater good. Hey, Mark and Christy, he's in the clubhouse. Yeah, yes. He's in the clubhouse.
It's been fun getting to know you on Clubhouse.
He's awesome.
Did you know you can get corporate funding? I would love to talk, Tracy. I'm looking for connections on how to bring more of this into schools. And
she's in Canada, so.
Yeah, awesome. Sure. Awesome. Yes, awesome. Let's connect.
And thank you, Beth, for sharing. So so what, I'm dying to know this answer. What makes a person beautiful to you?
So this is a belief that I have, and this is something that I've been taught by my mentor. And is that if we can get that there's a part of us that we can't see, right? That this part of us is our true self, is our, people call it their soul. Right? Our true soul is love. It's whole. It's complete. It's missing nothing. That is who we are. Right? Then there's this part of us that's the, subconscious programming. It's the life experiences that we've learned in life. Some of them beautiful, some of them not. Right? Some of them traumatic. But so often we've been taught to live from this place of, I call it our ego, right? Or our inner child, right? This place, and it's very much connected to the body, right? We're living from these limiting beliefs about ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so what I see in people is I always see people from their higher self, from their true self, right? Which is wholeness, which is love, which is whole and complete. And so what makes a person beautiful is that every single person on this planet is love, is who they are. No matter what they're saying or experiencing or thinking that they're limited or something's wrong with them, it's not their truth. And so what makes a person beautiful is who they actually are, right? Which is love.
Yep. And I love to laugh at myself because even though I've had, some brain injuries and traumatic things happen in my body and stuff, I know I still have a high vocabulary word, but with my New York, Puerto Rican accent plus a brain thing, I'm going to laugh how it comes out. You get to know me, and I'm trying to speak intelligently and vocabulary. We got to laugh. I mean, sometimes I can't
absolutely.
And I'll generalize. I mean, I can't even, some days I can't even say compa, whatever. I have to laugh about it.
Right. I'm right there with you. I mean, I love working with kids because I think my level is like first grade, and and so I relate on that level, and just having fun with it, that we just get to, we don't have to be perfect. We just
Exactly.
need to be with and knowing that we have a body, but we're not our body. So our brain might work a certain way. Okay. Like, let's have fun with it. I don't know if you've ever heard of Amen Clinic. Have you
No.
heard of that before?
No.
But I had gone to Amen Clinic with a friend of mine years ago, and they had done a scan on my brain, and I had a really bad concussion when I was a kid, and my brain does not work properly. And so I went to this other man that does kind of like biofeedback, but I'm blanking out on the word right now. But he said when he scanned my brain, he said, you've had this trauma to your brain. So like he said, everyone in life is like on the highway of life. And you're like on a little trike with a sippy cup, right? Trying to get your brain to work.
Well, I want to say that what makes a person beautiful, exactly what you said, is what I see of you. Mm-hmm. And again, we mirror, we say, we act what we are. Mm-hmm. And that's what people don't understand. So I'm thankful that you brought it to a level where people need to like look at themselves and stop and look and go, you realize what you just said about yourself?
Right.
Is that really what you think?
Know your value. Right?
Yeah. It's like, wait a second. I went to the 5 and dime store over here when I really am in the Louis Vuitton section over here. You mm-hmm. got to be you're going to be, you surround yourself with the people you want to be and right. what and so I spent I'm 55. I wasted so many years on different things, but God,
you were developing yourself.
Yes. And God has given me the ability to say, do you think you went through a miscarriage where you almost died? Do you think where you went a hysterectomy where you almost died? You think being in the heart, you think you having your kids and almost, do you think you went through all that stuff for me to waste my time with you? I ain't done here. So now I'm just expeditiously. I feel though, when I finish my book, my days at the end of the earth are going to be done. So I'm delaying that book. No, just kidding. Because, it's just, you're
not done until you say you're done.
and that's true too, because I fought to be here, and and I'd say, God, why am I still here? And it's just like, because I was around people that would always try to keep me down, mm-hmm. and I didn't realize the poison that they were trying to. But my beacon of light is still shining, and so
you had to take your power.
Yeah, I did. And here I am. And,
power. Mm-hmm.
and giving the voice for those that didn't find their power yet. I hope that my voice and my silliness and my show brings that hope to other people. And I know you really have helped with that. What's one of your favorite quotes?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. What do I have around me right now?
Make up a quote.
I have so many, but one of it, just such a simple one is that where your mind goes, your energy flows. Just being aware of whatever you focus on grows is so important. There's one that I used to have around me, and it's a Mary Oliver quote. And I might not say it exactly right, but it's something along the lines of, what are you going to do with this one precious and valuable life? Okay? What are you going to do with that? And that was a quote. And once again, I'm not saying it properly, but I used to have it over my computer. I'm just realizing it's not there right now. But it was that quote that a friend gave to me in a challenging time of my life that I posted it by my computer and I read it every day. And it's what allowed me to start shifting, because I was like, what am I going to do with this life? Like, I have this life. What am I going to do with it? Right. And it was that quote, that particular quote, that shifted and made me realize the power that I had and that I could start choosing my life.
Yeah. When you realize all this, all you want to do is go outside, like, let me save you, let me help you.
Right. But the thing is, everybody's on their own journey.
Exactly.
And they've got to find that power and that voice inside. So it's that wisdom inside, people learning how to listen to that voice inside, which is what you've talked about as well, too. That is our power, right? And so people learning that they've got the power inside.
Well, I haven't. Thank you, Sandy, for that. I'm glad, because you touched my life as well. I got to tell you that I haven't told this to many people, but 2 years ago, I got out of bed and I just wanted to really, really, truly give up. Like, I'm like, God, you've blessed me so many times. I've leaned on you, and I thank you for this, God. And I think I'm going to cry saying this, but he was like, no, you get out of that bed. You're going to, and I literally saw that he said, no, people are going to know you. You're going to get your story out, and you're going to help people all over the world. You are going to be, and all I could see was through a Zoom or something, but he goes, no, you are going to touch many people all over the world. And I started doing that 2 years ago with what I did and getting on a stage and things. But, I saw myself on a stage years ago too, but it was just all these different combinations that came together. And I just feared my own shadow. I feared all my shame was for me to just condemn myself, to be part of that. And now it's the vulnerable. I wasn't even going to pick a word this year. I only started doing that last year. And last year was do it anyways. And I'm telling you, New Year's Eve, there's recording. I was live and I said, I am not going to do words. I mean, I did do it anyways. And I did do my podcast, but I'm not going to do a word. I woke up that morning, I got the whisper, and God says, no, you're going to be vulnerable. You're going to share all these different things. And I'm really listening to my inner voice anymore. And I've been scared of the discernment God's given me. I've been afraid that people are going to judge me for it. But you know what? I had a whole church of 450 people turn their backs on me years ago here in the same town I'm in. And that's okay, because I've made friendships that have no idea the heck I went through. And so I know I am valid. I know I'm valued, but I'm never going to stay around where I'm not going to be wanted. But you know what? Saying I'm never going to stay where I'm never going to stay where I'm not wanted. That's what I got. Never say never. So now I don't say that. Now I say I'm never going to be a billionaire. Now that's the things I focus on. I'm never going to be a billionaire. So, and Beth, you think it's an incredible journey, but you have no idea, honey, but it's coming out. Billings, Montana will know who Lynn Serrano is. And the thing is I still love everyone that never gave me the time of day. I still love and respect anybody that didn't realize my value, because for me, even in the clubhouse, I've got that I'm a host of a show. I don't put all my accolades, I don't put all my accolades on there, because I feel like if I don't resonate with somebody, that's not my tribe. And I really hate that we're going to have to end this show.
I know. And I would love to say, anybody else want to share their favorite quote, put it in there so we can learn from each other.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And Christy, can we get together again and do another show? We didn't even scratch the surface.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is just, I am so blessed to have you in my life. I'm so blessed to call you a friend. And that's what people need to find out. If you are around people, and we're talking about relationships on my next show here, but seriously, finding when you're happy and you find people that are like-minded and that came from where you did and they conquered, start being around those people. Stop being around the people that just make you feel your worth is not worth. Yeah. I mean, you've got to be open and protect yourself from who you were from birth, because that's who we are, is that form of love, like you said.
Yeah. And when we know our value, Lynn, when we know our value and you feel it, because that feeling in your heart, we know is 10,000 times more powerful than the brain. I might be off on that number, but that feeling in your heart flows from your heart, surrounds your body, and it radiates around you in your aura.
You guys, I got to show you this.
That feeling, right? You're going to line up with those same people. And so it's first is always knowing our value.
Absolutely. Right? And I just want to show a clip from a long time ago. I just want to show you the caring person that she is. Now, she doesn't have this program anymore, but this is what I'm telling you about what a loving person she is. Okay, so time has changed and her hair color might be different, but it is her.
Hey, guess what I'm getting? I'm getting my Abundant Harvest produce sent to me right now with beautiful Christy. Look at this. Look at what we have. Oh my goodness, it's so fabulous. Oh, I love it. Every week it's a big surprise. Napa cabbage.
Ooh, you gotta get a
Ooh, look at this. Oh, isn't that amazing?
Apples and rosemary. Ooh, look at the cauliflower
Oh my gosh, it's
with the leaves
so
on it. It's like a wrap.
beautiful. Oh, so exciting. So where is this from?
So this is from a program called Abundant Harvest Organic. Here we go. Here's our little newsletter. And this is a group of local farmers in Kingsburg that put this together. And you actually get the email addresses of every farmer.
Okay, I just need to show you what love this woman is and how passionate she is. And because it comes from, beyond earth. Okay, so I just got to tell you, I love you so much, Christy.
Right. I love you too. And, I used to run an organic produce program in my community, where these farmers came together. Once again, they're just sending love of the love they have of growing this produce that we got to distribute to the community. It ended up not, it didn't make it, but it ran for about 8 years. And it was just a beautiful way to connect people to their food and their farmers. It was powerful.
Oh, well, follow Christy Jones on her page. And thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for some of my friends that I haven't had a chance to have on my live and interact with us. I am so blessed. I'm so thankful that we were able to show people how you can change every day of your life. So you can do that by living, loving, laughing, and mostly let go of the crap that doesn't serve you no more. Let go. Hold on a second. I'm going to close this out with a beautiful intro that I had with you because I want to leave that impression with everybody. So hold on.